or result in execution.
2022 was a roller coaster of emotions when it came to big screen flicks. While movies like Avatar and Top Gun Maverick blew us away with spectacle, we also had our fair share of disappointments, like Morbius. But don't worry, it ain't Morbin time here at the TV Regent. I'm just excited about spring because we've got some promising projects dropping soon. So today, I'm giving you my top 10 upcoming movies this spring 2023. Ready, set, morb. Just kidding. You may not have heard about this one, but I'm going to give you a very strong reason as to why 65 should be on your watch list this spring. Dinosaurs. Yeah, that's right. The Jurassic World trilogy might have finally run out of steam, but that doesn't mean we're satisfied with the amount of dino content available nowadays. Come to think of it, the OG Jurassic Park is the only dinosaur film that's considered to be a success both commercially and critically. To give you a little idea about it, a pilot crash lands into an unknown planet, but guess what? It's actually Earth, but 65 million years ago. Sorry, Elon, I know how much you love foreign worlds. Anyway, Adam Driver's playing the lead role, and if you do the math, you'll know that this is the time when our planet was inhabited by prehistoric creatures, mainly dinosaurs. Yep, this might just be the movie that breaks the dino curse barrier, and considering its immense production budget of over $90 million, you can rest assured that this isn't going to be one of those cheap B movies the mid-2000s were flooded with.
You need to be quiet.
Quiet.
And
mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So this is one for the nerds, but to be fair, it's not the same Dungeons and Dragons trilogy that kicked off in 2000. It's more of a reboot tailored to modern audiences, and I sure hope they mean that in the best way possible. I mean, what's not to love though? Dungeons and Dragons is a super famous game that even non-nerds at least heard about back in the day. I mean, if not anything else, Stranger Things popularized the game beyond its wildest dreams. Considering that, I'm surprised the movie hasn't already been made, but better late than never, right? So the cast does have a few high-profile names like Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, but it's the premise of some thieves traveling across dimensions that's got me all excited for what's to come. The movie's out on the 31st of March, so make sure you do all of your taxes beforehand if you want to catch it right at the end of the financial year.
Dracula.
okay.
Now, I've always been a die-hard Nicolas Cage fan, and I've always wanted to see Hollywood's favourite madman play the role of Count Dracula for once. Yeah, I know about Vampire's Kiss, but screaming, "I'm a vampire," while running on the street doesn't really count now, does it? Renfield's coming out on April the 14th, and I can't wait to see what they've got in store for us, because from the looks of the trailer, we've got a winner on our hands. There's also Nicholas Hoult in what I'm assuming is the lead role, and it works to his advantage because of the recent success of The Menu. The plot's basically got Hoult's character trying to deal with life as a vampire in a Gen Z-driven society, but then his master Dracula comes into the picture, and the rest is up to our imagination. I'm definitely going to be watching this in theatres because there's no telling what's going to happen. I mean, it is Nick Cage. He might actually turn into a bat just to feel the vibe of this role.
Renfield, blaming innocent victims.
This is very personal, Billy.
The DCEU might be going through a revamp of sorts under James Gunn's new leadership, but that doesn't mean we should totally discount the Shazam sequel. Fury of the Gods is going to have some interesting arcs to cover, especially once you consider that the film was made keeping Superman in mind. The dude literally makes a cameo in the post-credit sequence of the first film, so I really want to know how they're going to play the angle on that one. To be fair, Zachary Levi isn't exactly a guaranteed crowd puller, but he does have a unique sense of wit and charm that made the first film decent. Look, it's not going to be one of those gigantic movies with over $1 billion at the box office. We don't need it to be. All I want to see is some good old-fashioned entertainment, so here's hoping for a decent sequel to a decent movie.
Now everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and I'm the only one trying to keep it together.
We share a certain history.
Reboots and sequels aren't always taken in good taste, unless you're an MCU fan from the Infinity Saga. However, Scream managed to break that curse when its 5th installment came out last year and got an impressive score from audiences and critics alike. Now, Courtney Cox is going to be there, but it's actually Jenna Ortega who's the star attraction. I mean, she was definitely a standout in 2022, although that's primarily thanks to her breakthrough role as Netflix's Wednesday Addams. But to be fair, Scream 5 was the film that brought her into the conversation, and Scream 6 might be the film to cement her place as Hollywood's next big star. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the OG Scream and wasn't too kind to the sequels, especially parts 3 and 4. However, I gave in to the nostalgia back in 2022, and sure as heck I'm going to do the same for 2023. Like, share and subscribe right now, otherwise I'm going to be the one screaming at you in my ghost face costume. Alright then, let's move to the second half.
Oh, I got this. No problem. Yes!
If you haven't played any of the Mario games when you were a kid, then we can't be friends. On a serious note though, this film was already given somewhat of a promotional kick when it was announced that Chris Pratt would be leading it. I might not have any qualms with the man, but his selection did raise a few eyebrows. Sure, the dude's pretty much in everything nowadays, but the Italian connection was a little bit hard to spot. His voice is already a promotional item in itself because now everyone wants to go to see how he manages to pull off the accent and the tone over an entire movie. Not to say that I'm expecting great things from it, but I do love the Mario brothers, so I'm hoping Chris's hard work pays off. The movie's out on April the 5th, which is a Wednesday, but also on the Easter weekend, so it might even see some good box office numbers. Now this is a franchise that simply refuses to die. I mean, and why should it? The films are doing great all over the world, and Vin Diesel has clearly shown us he's in it for the big bucks. Why else would he even do Groot? Now, I do like to joke about the Fast and Furious movies, but the franchise has made somewhat of a legacy for itself, you know? The first few films were actually good from a cinematic standpoint as well, so it's not like this is simply a cash grab option. With Michelle Rodriguez gaining more prominence in the cast, it'll be cool to see Dom and Letty in action once again, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be all kinds of ridiculous stunts to keep us entertained throughout. One thing's for sure though, you gotta watch this film with your family members because, well, you know.
Learn all about fear.
Boom.
Fair, I ain't scared of that. Did you hear me yet? I ain't scared of that. Did you hear me yet?
Rocky changed the way everyone viewed boxing, and Creed furthered that notion for the modern world. Of course, the film actually needs to be good, and luckily, that happened to be the case. With Creed 3, the expectations are sky high, and it's primarily because of its impressive cast. Michael B. Jordan is a promising actor with a great personality that suits his character perfectly, so it kind of makes sense that he's the one directing this sequel as well. He might not have much experience in the field, but hey, you won't know unless you try, right? Sylvester Stallone isn't going to be a part of this film, but Jonathan Majors is, and he's already established himself amongst the general public thanks to his role as Kang the Conqueror. With both the leads possessing highly impressive physiques, their boxing match is definitely going to be a highlight in this film.
In the world, and he's trying to hurt people.
I vouch for you. You think you mad? Try spending half your life in a cell. Watching somebody else live your life.
One last time. Into the forever.
All good things must come to an end, and that's exactly what's happening here with James Gunn and his Marvel connection. The Guardians of the Galaxy came in as total underdogs of the MCU and won everyone's hearts, not just with Volume 1, but with Volume 2 as well. They were a pleasant surprise considering everyone was getting used to guys like Iron Man and Captain America as the new superhero juggernauts. Chris Pratt's always been a charmer, and Zoe Saldana's made it a thing to paint herself and star in gigantic blockbusters that make billions of dollars. We'll also probably be saying goodbye to Drax because Dave Bautista is probably going to rethink his contract too. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to here from an emotional standpoint.
A result and execution.
If you're ever looking at a comeback story, go no further than Keanu Reeves. The man has made such an amazing resurgence to the scene, and that too by playing a character you wouldn't normally associate him with. The John Wick franchise has made itself a reliable property for Lionsgate, so it's safe to say that this isn't going to be the last film in the series either. I mean, who doesn't like a killer who loves dogs? There's also talk of a ballerina spin-off starring Ana de Armas, so yeah, our favourite assassin ain't going anywhere soon. What's more appealing is the fact that Keanu's going to be working with Lawrence Fishburne after a really long time. Nobody can forget their epic partnership in The Matrix, so I'm hoping we can get some of that camaraderie in John Wick as well. The premise looks good, with John resuming his battle against the High Table, so if you see me at multiple screenings on the 24th of March, then don't be surprised. So that's my list. You feeling me on this one? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to stay updated on all of my latest videos. Head over to the description for exclusive access to my socials. Till next time, this is the TV Regent signing off.